We are a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. This is our country. You are the government.
All right, and welcome to the Frog News Network. Bonafide still down there in Alabama. I believe at the state park in Gunnersville, Alabama. They're having a heck of a time down there. I know he's tired. He's been up there all day at meetings and learning and stuff. You're doing a great job, Bonafide. Also, he's getting a little rest, so I'll kick the show off. They were streaming all day down there, well, a couple of hours at least. So I'll get the show going down here, and we'll knock it on out. We got a nice show tonight, some different perspective on things, and we'll let him come in and just and tell you all about what he's doing. But anyways, guys, I just had to show you some cool things. Maybe you guys have not seen. We have purchased the first Frog News Network vehicle. And I'm going through some designs with some designers, but there it is right there. We're going to try to make it still looking like a police car, but you're going to be looking at it and second guessing it when you look at it. Like it'll look like it's a cop car, but it's going to say Frog News on it. Of course, the unit number is 17, and then it will have stuff on there for 1776 Constitution. The United States of America, the Republic of the United States of America, all that good seal. It'll probably have 17 seal on there. I'm just going through a lot of ideas with it. I've designed wraps before. I actually going to have somebody design this one and just give them the ideas, what as many revisions as I need. So hi from Colorado. Welcome to the show, Tamra. Canada in the house. Welcome, Burl. Well, we'll just have to see about him. And there's going to be false flags and misinformation, okay? Ohio, Marsha, welcome to the show. Sue, welcome to the show. From Lovettsville, Virginia. I never heard of that one. Hello from Mississippi. Welcome to the show, Joe. There are some crazy things going to happen in the next couple of days. I promise you that it's not going to be normal. I'm having trouble viewing it on Rumble. Really? Let me go over there and take a quick look, make sure we're live on Rumble. You have to refresh your browser on Rumble, okay? We're live on Rumble. Yes, we are live. So there's no problems with the Rumble channel. Just Frog Patrol. It's going to have something. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be, how about the Real News Patrol? It's going to have a good tagline. Trust me when I tell you, the graphics will look very similar to where the police cars are, but we're going to have more of a red, white, and blue effect to it, where you see the flag and the stars. I was going to graphically wrap the whole vehicle. Now I think it's going to be like a half wrap or 3/4. It ain't going to be completely, but I want to keep it to where it looks like a cop car, but it's not a cop car. You look at it and go, wait a minute. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to do. Hamilton, Ohio. Blessings from Ontario, Florida. Bonafide's already gave me some ideas. He wants it to make it look like Evel Knievel. He loves Evel Knievel as his hero. Altoona, Pennsylvania in the house. Blessings, we did that. We are the People Patrol. Not bad. Keep coming up with the ideas, guys. Central Illinois in the house. Yuma, Arizona. All right, Central Illinois. I already did that one. Yeah, I'm feeling way better, guys. They got me on a pretty good load of that prednisone now. 2 cups of coffee. I'm wired all day, I'm telling you. Hello from Florida. Oh, welcome to the show. California, welcome to the show. We're going to do about another 2 or 3 minutes. There's my buddy. I always get you in there, Wild Rat Racing. You know I got you every time you come on, bro. Rhode Island in the house. Good evening from Michigan. I seen that Ted Nugent did a little thing up there, and some guy tried to give him some stuff. You can't down talk Uncle Ted. Uncle Ted's bad now. Another Mississippi in the house. Hi from Sandusky, Ohio. Robin, welcome to the show. Glad to have you this evening. Well, my sinuses have unswelled really nice. I feel it. My eyes are not watering. Hello, Doug. Ted rocks. Uncle Ted, you know he is. He's badass. And everybody thought he was this wild, drugged out drunk. And he comes out at the rally and says, I've never drank and never used drugs in my entire life. he's pretty intelligent. He really is. Hello, Doug. How are you? From Carroll County, Virginia. Welcome to the show. Chris Greer, welcome to the show. Chris, I know you because you're watching with Bonafide right now. Hi, y'all. How's your mom and them? Anyways, I'm going to bring Tim in real quick, and we're going to do the show. And he's going to tell you all about what he's doing and how he sees things going. And I don't know if I'm going to bring down the YouTube channels. If it gets real serious, I'll ask him to warn me, and then we'll go on and pull the YouTube channels down. But if it don't get too serious and we don't drop too many V's and too many E's, we'll be all right. If we're going to go down that route, I'll kill the feed to that. But I'll bring Tim in right now. Tim, welcome to the show, bud.
Hey, how you doing, Doug?
Great. I'm doing great. Great to see you again.
Yeah.
I met this gentleman at Brad's event. He has got one cool looking vehicle. I wish I'd have copied a picture of that and showed it to you. It's decked out now with his PBI on it. And tell us all about what that means and what your organization is.
Well, it's our organization, actually. So,
okay.
Yeah. So it's the People's Bureau of Investigation.
All right.
Okay. So basically what we're up against is all these three-letter entities that don't represent us, but claim and exist to give us the impression that they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Such as the FBI, the Department of Justice. There's so many. I mean, you've got the CIA, the WHO, you've got the CDC, all these entities. So what this one is for the people. The People's Bureau of Investigation is of, by, and for the people.
Yes.
And that's the gist of it. The logo pretty much says it all.
Wow, that's impressive. And I noticed it right away, and logo looks great. Everything looks great. It's time for the people to take back the departments of that run the government, because they're all seems like they're led by a bunch of crazy people on the left right now.
Yeah.
And they're sinking our country down a rapid hole of a sewer at an alarming rate. People need to be put in power, and people need to be having people looking over the people in power. And that pretty much is what your agency, what our agency would do. Correct?
Right. So at birth, you're an agent. So I like to say we have like 8 billion agents globally and 350 million or so domestically that are born agents. Okay, so you're born an agent. You can report deprivation of rights, things of that nature, encroachment on your rights, corruption, government corruption, things that corporate overreach on our website at the PBI.us. And what we have there is a page that we call the Library of Truth. It's a vault that's going to house all the tyranny that we've ever experienced here throughout this, this recent tyrannical, 2020 and forward, it looks like. So it's going to become like the Wikipedia for tyranny. So we'll have everyone will be able to see how, what we experience, say 10 years from now or decades down the line. People see exactly what happened in that decade of 2020 through 2030. I believe this is going to be known as the decade of freedom. Right now, it looks kind of messy and ugly, but I think 10, 20 years from now, we'll look back and this will be called the decade of freedom, because the movement that we're all seeing, everyone's coming together through the good Lord. We're connecting. It's like we're all on the same frequency and we connect to God, and that's how we meet each other. It's like we're literally we're freedom fighters. It's in our DNA. I believe it's literally in our DNA to come at this time and realize, hey, it's time to wake up. We've seen enough of their tyranny over the many decades. So that's where we're at.
I think everybody's fed up with it. If you're a real patriot and you love our country, everybody's tired of the abuse of power in our nation. And it's time for us as citizens, as patriots, to put people in charge of that at every level, like an Overwatch. Not their Overwatch, but our Overwatch. Because ultimately, we the people, the politicians work for us. They seem to have forgot that somewhere along the line, trying to mandate things, trying to tell us what's good for us and what's not good for us. What's not good for us is them telling us what to do. We need to be telling them what to do and what laws are appropriate for our country, not what they think's good for us. Correct?
Exactly. Our Constitution is a contract between the government and us, and we're the beneficiary of the contract. So the contract is supposed to be always viewed in our light. So if there's a discrepancy, or we believe our right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness is one thing, it's supposed to be viewed in our favor. That's part of the Constitution. So what we like to do is, educate everybody as far as becoming very knowledgeable about the Constitution, because there's things in it that you need to understand. That our rights come from God and they're protected by the Constitution. So we need to understand that fact, and we need to defend our rights.
I think it's a great idea. This this movement is basically what it is, to get people in charge of the government, back to getting the people in charge of the government. Because initially, when it was, the Constitution was written, I had a scholar on last night, and he was showing a lot of the words that are in the Constitution are in the Bible.
Right.
And they're trying to get away from that because they don't want to abide by what the Bible says. It's very powerful when you start looking at this little book right here. And I'm sure everybody's got one. We all got one.
And I got that one. I got a hardcover one.
Nobody understands it or reads it, but they constantly quote it.
Right.
The gentleman we had on last night, he says, I'm not even going to do, are you smarter than the fifth grader? Are you smarter than a first grader? Because up until 1930, they taught this book, and you needed to know everything in this book. And there was a lot of stuff that wasn't in that book that they taught too. And the first thing is that the Bible is in this. It's all in this right here. It's amazing. So when they're trying to take your rights away, the Bill of Rights, the constitutional rights away from you, they're trying to strip, once again, God away from you. They don't want you nowhere near him. They don't want you to think he's close. You don't want you to think that he exists, but he really does. So would there be like local offices with this, Tim? And would there be regional offices just like the three-letter agencies? Or would this be done basically from everybody's home and they report to people that way?
Yeah, it's actually a combination of everything you just mentioned there. So we eventually want to have paid agents in every county in the United States, and even say 3 to 5 years down the line, have agents in other countries as well, because the right, the freedom, and God-given rights apply to everybody, right? And half the problem we're experiencing is this ideology creeps in from other countries into the United States. So we kind of got to find a way to keep it away in the first place. So we'll have agents everywhere. So the concept is really simple. Study the Constitution, understand it. Our website has training on there provided by somebody named Carl Miller. He was part of Operation or Project Blue Book. Where back in Vietnam, they pulled these guys aside. They basically ingrained the Constitution into them at such a level that they were supposed to spread that, right? But back in the day, we didn't have the internet, so it was kind of difficult to spread the word. And now the internet's there. I think Carl has since passed away, but he's got a 5-hour video right on our website where it's called the PBI electronic badge and basic training link on the website. And it goes into everything, explains exactly what you need to do step by step to get empowered, because the Constitution gives you power. You mentioned my Hummer that is decked out and everything. I've got the 1776 flag on the front license plate, and on the rear plate is the "Don't tread on me," the snake.
Absolutely.
So I don't have a license plate. So once you get really empowered by the constitutional training on our website, you'll find yourself carrying a firearm in a no carry or a permit carry state like I live in. There, you have to buy your rights back. That's the same thing with the license plate.
That's what they're going to be teaching. If Francine's going to be teaching a course on that at the rally, at her event, I think on how to get your rights back as a U.S. citizen, and
Right.
you got to go through a procedure, and I guess you've already went through that, where they can't mandate you to have a driver's license. They really can't. It's a free country to move about freely
Right.
without being questioned. Um, there's a lot of things that are forced upon us that a lot of people doesn't even realize. Just like today, I'm watching Tim that the new New York governor is, and I'm going to be careful about how I say this, is calling you not a Christian if you don't get valvolineed. I'll call it that.
Right.
You're not a Christian if you don't share it with your friends and get that done. That is the most. I'm trying to keep this clean. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Right.
As human beings, we are guaranteed to do what we want to do according to the Bible. They can't make you do anything. These are mandates, these are not laws.
Right.
Okay. Governors don't make laws.
Well,
Okay. The
anything,
state
any
legislator, they make the laws, and then
right.
there's laws that supersede them laws. Them laws be right here. Okay.
Exactly.
Your rights under the
Exactly.
Constitution. People need to wake up. This is how we're going to win our country back, is learning this book right here and
Right.
understanding what your rights are as a U.S. citizen
Yes.
before we don't have a country back.
Yeah. You don't want to run around and just say, I know my rights, because that's a red
Now
flag
you
that
need to quote them.
you really don't know your rights. Right. So yeah, when you mentioned this new governor down there in New York, anything repugnant or in conflict to the Constitution, the supreme law of the land, is void at inception. It never existed. There's no, you don't need to obey it. No law enforcement can enforce it, and no court can uphold it. So it basically, the moment they came up with these mask mandates, the moment they came up with a license plate required to travel,
Right.
it was void at inception. But the problem is the people didn't know. So because they're unaware, because we've been basically
Dumbed
programmed.
down for so
Yeah, we've
long.
been programmed. It's a programming. I'm right now in the middle of reading a book called Monarch Programming Handbook. It's an Illuminati handbook on how to literally program people, and they use everything against us to do so. From the television, the things on television.
Tell a vision. It's
Yeah,
really tell a
television.
lie a vision.
Right, right. So they got us all snowed, right? And we need to educate ourselves. If we all had this knowledge when they
Right.
started the business lockdowns, people would have been just literally laughing at them like, it's not how it works.
You could have a little index card and say, "Here you go, officer. Now,
Exactly.
do you want to take me to jail because the judge is going to let me slam out?" Do you know what I
Right,
mean?
right, exactly.
And you can film the whole thing. But see, nobody wanted to pay attention to that. They wanted to obey. Oh my goodness, we have to obey because they said so. We have to do this and go by what they say and get the Valvoline because they say it's good for me. In the Bible, it says you will be deceived. There will be false prophets. People are telling you what to do that are part of the cabal on TV, but you think these are good people.
Right,
You need to wake up and get right with God right now because he's the one that's going to come save you. Everybody's sitting here telling me when 1745 coming back. You better get right with God. You know
right.
what I mean? What if he ain't coming back?
Yeah,
But I believe in my heart he is, but you better have a plan. You better know your rights as a citizen. Look at what the poor people are doing in Canada. Look what they're doing to the people in Australia. They took all their guns away. They
right,
can't fight back.
right,
See, in this country, we can fight back. And I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking
right,
about fighting back and knowing what can be done to you, what can't be done to you.
right,
Look at the poor pastor that was down here with Greg Locke. Um, uh, Arthur, I'm sorry, I messed up your name. God bless you. We're all praying for you. Soon as he hit the ground in Canada, they diverted his plane where he couldn't even see his family. He's
right.
been down here about 5 months and they arrested him right at the wing of the plane, took him straight to prison
It's
for
ridiculous.
keeping his church open
Right.
and baptizing his daughter.
It's just ridiculous.
It is totally, it's a horrible thing that's going on up
Well,
there.
we've been physically and mentally and spiritually taken over. in the whole
Absolutely.
everywhere up there, down here. These people are plants. They're
I think what you're seeing in Australia, and I heard tonight that when the dust settles, so to speak, that the United States will grow in size. Will be the United States, Canada, and somebody even mentioned Australia will be part of our country before it's all over. They're doing that gematria stuff, but I
yeah,
don't know a lot about that. But
yeah,
some of it makes sense, and some of it
right.
makes me want to scream. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty confusing for me. I'm
Yeah. I'm like, hey, you just let me stick to what's in that Bible, and I don't read real well,
yeah,
and I keep my faith up and ask God to guide me in the right way, in the right
right on,
direction, and
right
know
on.
my rights as a citizen of the United States of America. I am here legally, by the way. Do you know that most people that live in our country don't know our history or their rights under the Constitution? The people that came in here and went through correctly and had to take the classes to become become a citizen of the United States know more about our history and know more about our Constitution than 90% of the people that live in this country.
I know.
Guarantee.
It's a shame,
It's a
isn't it?
shame. You can go to colleges and ask questions about who was president when they don't even know who was the
Right.
vice. They don't have no idea. They have dumbed down our colleges into teaching them how to hate our country, how to burn our flag. Well, you know what? Don't do it in front of me. I could promise you that. But they're just teaching hate in college, and the professors, the teachers, the people in our school systems, all the way up are teaching hate. They're teaching division.
It's
And
everywhere.
they're trying to divide us because God wants to bring us all together. Because as one, we're a powerful force. But when you start to because they're not doing it, that when you try to divide us, now the biggest thing, Tim, that's going to come is the jab, no jab. It's going to be the next race baiter, if you so to speak,
Right.
but it won't be race. It'll be good whether you got it, whether you didn't get it. You don't have access to this. You don't have access to that. I believe, Tim, that we're looking at civil unrest, if not civil war, within weeks, if they don't start taking some action real soon.
Yeah. I hope not. But yeah, they do have us against the ropes, but I think the good Lord is going to rope a dope them just like Muhammad
I
Ali did
believe
back in the
you're
day.
absolutely right. I believe we'll be able to tell our grandkids, we were here when God came and changed the world. Their
Right.
2,000 years of being evil are up in June. And now it's just mop up work. It's not going to be pretty work. It's not going to be the work that you want to see or want to hear or want to do, but it's got to be done before we go to the next stages. And your idea is an amazing idea once the dust settles. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Right.
The
When it settles, right.
reorganization part of our country, wouldn't you call
Right.
it, after this goes through? And I'm no genius, but there's got to be a peaceful way where they have to take out the dope in the senior living center. He has to be exited, and the only way for him to exit properly without big riots, and it still might be, is to decertify Arizona. Then once they decertify that, that puts him under 270, and he's not a legit. He's not legit anyway, but
Right.
it doesn't make him fit to be in there. And it'd be like the Gong Show, them pulling him off the stage.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, and we don't know how long they can take. The Secretary of State's all into it, but the governor says he can't do nothing about it. Of course he can't, because it's Secretary of State that decertifies the E, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So that's our next thing we need to look for. And our 21 days of prayer end on October 1st. Look for some more big things to happen. As we were discussing the other night, I think I told you today, I didn't know if you had a chance to go back and watch the clown show at the rally the other night with all the people
Yeah,
that
I
were
did.
wearing masks. Did you?
Yeah, I sure did.
Did you, when you started looking, you started
Yeah, I
seeing,
saw
didn't
some
you? But
strange characters behind there. Yeah,
if you
behind him.
didn't
Yeah.
look, you didn't see. But once you started to
Yeah.
notice one, you started to
Characters.
notice two, three, four, five,
Right.
six.
They all
And
look pretty exaggerated and odd, you know?
yeah, everything, like I think we mentioned and talked to earlier when we're on the phone, is that nothing is what it appears.
Right.
And that's what they want. And it all started with the Ivanka lookalike, and then the lady passing out in front of her to get your attention and start looking around. I mean, the one on the right side, the real tall one, was actually pulling the mask. You'd see it come from her face and then put it back on like that. I mean, how much more do you need to know? But I believe what's going to be, there's going to be more indictments released before the first of the month, big ones too, I think.
Mhm.
I think we might see the collapse of our stock market, our currency, and everything in the up and coming weeks. There's some crazy stuff about to happen, and wouldn't it be great during the reorganization phase of our country if they let you get in there and get this thing going? Because I think it's a great idea what you want to do to put the people back in charge. It's
Well,
basic.
think
Well, when
about it.
Trump come off the stage, right, and come up to the stage, right, Tim, he says, we're taking the power away from Washington, D.C.,
Right.
and giving it back to you, the people. Now it's the part, Tim, what are you going to do with the power? You have it. You had it all along. But people just are complacent to sitting on their hands waiting for the government to give them something else.
The idea is to have, imagine being in Walmart or whatever store, and you see 20 people with these hats on walking around.
And they
And you
know
don't
people
know
are
if they're
watching,
you don't know if they're paid agents. You don't
right?
know if they're unregistered or just somebody bought a hat. You don't know if they're registered agents. So what
Right.
you can do is register on the website as an
Uh-huh.
agent and then potentially be a paid agent in the future. But to be able to have that and then say like you have this, it's a power thing. You know that they use that Luciferian three-letter entities. They use
Uh-huh.
colors. They use colors against us.
Absolutely.
They use all these things against us. So now we have this extra measure of power that, and I look to have an app soon in the near future where it'll locate all of us. So if you need backups, you've got an instance where somebody's giving you grief telling you need a mask mandate or you
Right.
need your vaccine papers. You hop on your app, hit a button, and then the cavalry shows up. Next thing you know, there's 10 guys standing there next to you in white hats, and you got support.
Right.
Basically, we got to let these people know, these businesses know that, we have the rights. We've sent out documentation, we put videos out stating that these mandates never existed. You're supposed to go and send letters, and then if they don't respond with the proper channels, the old methods were to send letters. If they don't respond, then they accepted your notice. And now I'm declaring, and the people are declaring, hey, we have the internet. We've made it clear these mandates are bogus. They're not real. They're void at inception, and they all know it. We've got videos where we served Amazon, we've served Jeff Bezos, we've served Walmart. We actually walked into the stores with the documentation and handed it to them. So they're all aware that they're not supposed to have these mask and vaccine mandates. They know it. It's not like it's a surprise to them. So they're breaking, Nuremberg code, making people get shots. They're using us as guinea pigs. These are international law that they're breaking, and they just continue to do it under the guise of we have to because it's the governor's mandate.
Well, here's what a lot of them don't realize with the fake news media is they hung the news people right alongside the doctors, right alongside the people who were doing the tyranny. You know what I mean? Right alongside them doing crimes against humanity. It didn't matter. And they're going to be lining all these people up. From what I heard, it's 1.5 million people whenever this time comes where we're all ordered to stay at home, that will be rounded up. 1.5 million that will be rounded up that are going to jail. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that is just over the top, right?
Yeah. So it's there's crazy times are coming, and I suggest every frog a night and everybody listening to my voice gets ready for it because the days are getting closer. October 1st is very close. They're talking about the collapse of our economy before the middle of next month. I mean, the first week of next month, it's supposed to just collapse. There's no more money. That's why they're trying to mandate
fake money in the first place.
Well,
right?
they took all the money from them. They're just printing nothing now.
Yeah, it's
So basically,
fiat
Inc. United States Inc. is broke. So now they're trying, without making a law, trying to mandate another law to we can start checking your bank accounts. if you have $600 in it. That'll never pass because ain't
Right.
none of them congressmen and senators want people poking around in their bank accounts. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Finding out
Right.
where them donations came from
Right.
after $600. So I don't think that'll fly, but it makes you start worrying about what money you do have in the bank. And that's what they did. Just want they want you to live in fear. They don't want you to live a normal life. Right now, we haven't seen normal in 2 or 3 years. It's been one dilemma after another.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the United States Inc. We actually abolished them on the outside the Capitol in D.C. Formally, and we submitted documents to the receiving office. We sent to Senator Cruz and Rand Paul, and we read the documents outside to the military police and the Capitol Police, abolishing the United States corporation. The Capitol Police and the military had to walk away because their superiors said, well, they can't be there to hear it. So they're hearing us read the document, and then they
Mhm.
just kind of all faded off to the side. But yeah, the whole thing is, it's not been really a couple 3 years. It's been a lifetime. I mean, we've been enslaved our entire lives. It's been a fake world. 1871, and the bankers came and took us over. That's why we physically, technically abolished the corporation there, because that was where it really took a turn for the worse. And here we are. So, yeah, we need an entity that we can all. And I looked at right now, it's incorporated as a C corp, but I
Mhm.
want to eventually call it what I call an unincorporation, where
Right.
it's not like you representing typical corporation. People within the corporation do something, and then a corporation is at fault. What I want this thing to do is the corporation, the People's Bureau of Investigation is looking out for the people below it, so the people act on their own accord, and their own entity, as we know we all are. We're all sovereign individuals, right?
Right.
So then we come to their rescue and their aid as an paid agents and so forth. So it's going to be in its new guards, just as the Declaration of Independence calls for, in a time of destructive government. When there's a government that becomes destructive, you actually have not only a right to institute new guards, you have a duty. So this is not something that's like far fetched. This has to be done. If it's not this entity, it needs to be some form of something, because we've been abused so long. It's well past time to institute new guards, and that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're going to be, is have a new entity that represents the people on an individual scale. So you go out and get into trouble, somebody's there and has your back. Period.
Right. Yeah. It's time to stand up for your fellow brother, and people are just standing there
Right.
nowadays and not doing nothing. They've been dumbed down. Men are not the men they used to be 25, 30 years ago. I'm telling you that right now.
No.
It's a shame. It
Yeah,
really
they've used
is.
chemicals to do that. Even you
Yeah.
know.
Well, that's the other thing is we got to fix our food sources too. When God and made us, he expected us to live to be 150 years old. Who's living to be 150 years old? Nobody.
No.
Because of the food we're ingesting and the stuff they're putting in our food. That's another whole issue right there that has to be dealt with too. We have to start eating naturally. Um, there's so many bad things they put in our food. In other countries, half of our food can't even be sold that it is given to us and sold here in the United States. You can't even buy it in Canada. You can't buy it in Europe. It's not even legal over there, but they feed it to us over here. So that's another thing that would have to be straightened out. And that's somebody in your organization, they could actually work for somebody, and they could report them. Hey, they're not doing things right here. Where people are scared to be whistleblowers now. They're scared of the things that might happen to them if they get caught telling on somebody. That's how terrible our government's got, and how afraid people are to just stand up and be patriots. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, what I've noticed, I'm born again guy, and
Yeah.
once you put God as number one, then you lose all fear.
Fear nothing.
Right? You fear nothing. You don't fear threats against yourself, your family, because on the other side there's better a better, there's God, and you're out of here. So there's not like we're in a hurry to exit this place, but we all know it's inevitable that we're going to leave here. So it makes you a little bit more bold as long as you put God number one. And that's the main thing that I think makes us different. People like you and me and folks at the event there in
Yeah, people
Kentucky,
that want to
you
stand
know?
up for our rights as citizens and want to inform and keep God first. As long
Yeah.
as we keep God first, He is, and you can ask my partner Bonafide, He has opened doors for us and moved mountains for us.
All
I would
right.
have never dreamed I met the people I've met and been to the places I've been to the rallies I've been and connected with the people I have and
Right.
been on TV, on radio. I never would have thought 8 months ago, I'd have told you you're absolutely out of your mind. But when God picks you and wants you to go forward so you can get the truth out, He'll move mountains for you just because
Absolutely.
God loves the truth. He hates a liar.
Right on.
And that's the honest to God truth. And when we switched over our format from reporting intel, I used to call it bubblegum intel with rainbows and lollipops,
Right.
over to the truth. What are we going to do as citizens? What are we going to do to take our country back? And it's just like General Flynn had told us, got to start attending these school board meetings, these city council meetings, getting involved with your party and
Right.
in your districts. Find out what's going on, who's leading up this party, what have been the votes. You can go look all that stuff up, what they've been voting on. You can go to your state capital and find out what's going on up there. This is really what people have turned their backs on and why we're in the position we're in today. Nobody paid attention. Nobody cared. Everybody quit caring and thought it was just automatically take care of itself. Well, look what happened.
Well, they worked real hard to get us where we are. I mean, the amount of entertainment, binge watching Netflix and football and all these things that
Meanwhile,
really don't matter. It's like watch the shiny object. It's like a 3-card monte or a little shell game going
mhm.
on. Look for the shiny object. Look at this, look at that, buy this, buy that, consume this. That's all we are, is consumer based people. If they focused on God, we would have never gotten into the situation that we're in. But it happened. Now people need to wake up, you know, um, focus on God, focus on our rights, and discard all that. I have not watched any television in 9 months. I mean,
Well, you haven't missed anything.
no, I do turn it on just to make a point to my wife. I'll turn it on for 10 seconds. You could try this. It's kind of amusing
Okay.
because they're going to push fear and division is what they're
Right.
pushing. So
Absolutely.
I can go on a television, power it up, go to CNN, and within 5 seconds, sometimes it's the immediate. I'll see the fear. There's guys with rifles. They're talking about Afghanistan. This was the other day. And then turn it off, go to the next, go to MSNBC, and then do Fox. Within 10 seconds, you will see division or fear. I guarantee. And if you're not seeing that, you're seeing a pharmaceutical ad telling you that you need mental help. And then you got to wait through that commercial to get to the fear. And then you can turn it off and then say, it's fear and division. That's all they're doing. They've been doing it for years. And once you really wake up, you can't even watch television anymore because you see the program.
I am the same way now that after, watching so many videos on Disney and what real Hollywood was really all about,
Right.
I can watch a movie, but maybe that I watched years ago. And now when I cut it on, I can start seeing the sign of the cabal within
Right.
the first 5 minutes of every movie
Right.
I watch.
Yeah.
There it is right there. There's an eyeball right there. There's something else. There's something
Right.
else. And it's amazing how many things you would see. And it flashes quickly too. If it's a scene in a city, it might only be a tenth of a second, but it's in there. It's
They
just
use
like
frequencies as well coming out
yeah,
of this.
and here's the thing,
Yeah.
it's just like, I mean, people don't realize I'm 60 now, but when we were kids, they were driving movies and they would put one frame of popcorn in there and
Everyone
then
wanted
cook
that
the popcorn because that had your mind thinking about it before they popped it. And they'd sell out of popcorn every time that
Right.
way. It's a
Sure.
way of programming your mind and don't think it isn't being done with the TV.
Oh, it's
Tell
happening in
a
a big way.
vision.
It's happening in a
The
big way.
movies were all controlled by the CIA.
Yeah.
And what is really, when you look at movies and you start really studying them, that's what they're doing to us. They have to tell us what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They can be the cabal or they can be Satan, but Satan has to tell you what they're doing.
Right.
and they've all been bought out. That's why you don't see really nothing new on TV. Everything is filmed now at Tyler Perry Studios because Hollywood is basically shut down.
Yeah.
And the reason the border's wide open that people don't realize is,
Inventory. They want more
well,
inventory.
they need more kids up to the Finger Lakes because they've closed all the dams down and the adrenochrome's low, and they need a way to make it again. All
Right
the
on.
salt mines are up there.
Careful.
There's crazy stuff that people never dreamed of happening in this world that's so evil, so sick that I can't even begin to tell you. You need to do your own research.
Yeah.
Just go research adrenochrome. That's all I
Right
can
on.
tell you.
Right on.
And that the rest of it will take care of it all. Child trafficking, the drugs, all of it. It's all involved in that one name. It really is, and it's a horrible, horrible thing that has to be. It has to be taken away. It can't never, ever, ever come back. It can't never go back to the way it is now. We have to go to a different place, and God's going to take us there sooner than later.
This is why the PBI needs to exist, because a perfect example you're talking about is Kathy O'Brien, right? She came out publicly about what was happening to her back in the day, like the 80s. And what happened? The FBI did nothing. Here we are decades later, and it's still going on, So if we had
There's more money, Tim, in trafficking children in adrenochrome than there are in the drug market.
right.
And
Now, if the PBI existed 30 years ago, 40 years ago, they would have been able to step in and say, what exactly is going on here? We need to investigate this. So, the FBI was created by the government to protect its own. So, and here we are wondering, well, why aren't they doing this? Why aren't they doing that? And then they get the special counsels and investigators and investigate, the Clintons and then we have 9/11, all these things that have happened over the years that just get swept under the rug and no one gets the truth. And if the PBI existed, I'm convinced that some of these things wouldn't have happened, or at least they would have been exposed. Kennedy assassination from 9/11 on down to the Clintons and everything that we see would have had some entity that would have actually done something, right?
Absolutely. And what I wanted to do was grab your YouTube channel so I could get our people to join it, but the videos you have on the website don't look like they go to YouTube.
I have some on YouTube, and then I have some on
The
Rumble.
controversial ones on your website.
Yeah, well, you know how that goes. So
yeah, I understand that as well. So he does have quite a few videos, folks on there with Mel K, and she has knowledge. Oh my goodness. She'll tell you all about the Nazis and all the stuff like that. She really went into depth down there in Kentucky when we were down there.
Right.
And when I heard her speak on stage, I was like, holy cow. And Ann Vandersteel as well.
Right.
She's very, very good.
Yeah,
that was a great,
awesome.
great. Brad put on a great event. We couldn't ask for better weather down there. It was a learning experience, as well as just like Bonafide and them are down there learning, just like we were talking about your constitutional rights. Plus, they're learning, they're studying the Bible while they're down there. They're doing all great things down there. And there's thousands and thousands of people down there where Bonafide's out of it in the Gunnersville, Alabama, at the state park. It is gorgeous.
Yeah,
He
it
took
looks
some
nice. I
pictures and
saw
I
a
was like,
video.
wow.
Awesome.
I just like, wow. And if my bronchitis hadn't acted up, I'd have been down there with them. I feel bad about it, but you got to keep your health first. And I'm at home nursing that along, and we'll just keep chugging along from here. Hey, I would have never came up with that cool police car today if I wasn't at home. And it was like a mile and a half from my house. It was like meant to be. I've been looking for one for about 6 months.
Right.
Now it's just a matter of getting the design done on it. I just want to, just like you have that beautiful Hummer, and what it is, it's beautiful, but it gets people's attention to ask you about, they ask you about, your organization. Like they would ask me, what's Frog News?
Oh yeah.
Now I can tell you about it, just like they ask you.
Yeah.
That's we don't want attention for us. We want attention to help wake people up and get more of the news out to them and what they can do as citizens to get the country back and help others get the country back. The biggest thing is, like I think Brad Barton was saying today, I only got to see a little bit of it, but you want to help save this country. So, get in there and get involved. I don't care if it's going to a rally. You don't know what to do. Can I help take the trash out? Can I help sweep the floor? Can I help do anything? But take the chairs out. Just get involved at some level. If you have other skills, that's great too. But just get involved. And if you go 10 other people to do the same thing, do you know how quick we're going to grow? And, it's just that simple how we can come together and unify and get everything back, because we've all been comfortable on our own skin for so long that it's time that we got to stand up to these tyrants. We have to question everything. When you say, Tim, everything that goes on needs to be questioned, analyzed, and that would put everything into the spectrum of what your organization would do.
Right. Well, imagine if, remember back in the day, this kind of idea kind of spawned back during the Obama administration. Everyone was saying, this guy's not a natural born citizen.
Right.
And I'm thinking, well, who's going to point it out? Who's going to investigate it and bring him to justice if it's the case? Like the FBI? And then you sit back and go, no, that's never going to happen. Right. So we need an entity that looks at who's even running for office. I want to have on the website, everyone who's running for government, expose them for what they are. If they're looking at if they're getting dark money or money from bad entities, I don't think if the PBI existed, I don't think Obama would have gotten office. I think it would have been pointed out that he's not a natural born citizen.
No.
We would have had investigators go investigate over there where he allegedly was from, brought back information, interviewed people, so on and so forth. Maybe Ocasio-Cortez, she wouldn't be elected because we wouldn't have let her even run for office.
Well, that's all George Soros money, right?
Yeah, these people.
That the
should be investigated, right?
Tim, the news anchors are not allowed to mention his name on TV.
Well, this is the problem.
Well, he owns the
news
TV
anchors,
station.
right? Yeah, right.
That's going to be a problem.
The news. See, what the PBI is going to be doing is what the FBI and the news is supposed to do, right?
Right.
Because they're supposed to point this stuff out, and then the FBI was supposed to go, hey, let's look at this, right? So you hear, Obama's not a natural born citizen, and then nobody does a doggone thing about it except he's in office for 8 years. But we don't believe that he even belonged there. And now if you're questioning his birth certificate, you're a conspiracy theorist. Anything that you question that you don't necessarily believe to be accurate, next thing you know, you're a conspiracy theorist, right?
Well, look, let's take a short break here. I'm going to play a quick commercial, and we'll come right back after this commercial, okay?
All right.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often, with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Unless you're using LifeWave. Since 2004, LifeWave has been delivering its amazing life-enhancing technology to people across the world, always helping the body do what it was designed to do, only better. And as it turns out, the best was yet to come. David Schmidt, our founder, creative force, and world-class inventor behind LifeWave technology, has recently achieved something in the field of regenerative science with a single LifeWave patch that researchers worldwide, spending years and billions of dollars, could not. Introducing LifeWave X39, the world's first product ever to activate stem cells. A true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state in a way no other product can. The secret? By harnessing the power of LifeWave's patented phototherapy, X39 uses light to elevate a peptide proven to signal the activation of stem cells. Think about it. These are the cells that generate and regenerate all the cells and structures of the human body. They're the building blocks for our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an internal repair system everywhere. But as we age, stem cells become less effective. Their ability to repair damaged tissue is reduced. In fact, by age 60, they've slowed dramatically. But all that changes when just one LifeWave X39 patch is placed anywhere on the body each day. Instead of older and less effective stem cells, X39 supports the production of younger and healthier stem cells. This amazing level of control over your vitality and well-being was simply not possible, let alone this easy, until now. And the best part? Like all LifeWave patches, X39 is safe, non-invasive, and incredibly cost-effective. Look what people are saying about LifeWave X39. Backed by clinical studies, multiple patents, and 20 years of development, any one of these benefits would be impressive. But X39 is so effective, it can influence everything about your body, how you look, feel, perform, and heal. It's time you experience the power of X39. Live long, live well, live younger. Experience the power of LifeWave today.
All right, I'm back, guys. Just a couple more things real quick before we get back to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share his website, and we're going to take a look over there. Don't forget My Pillow. Go over to My Pillow, guys, and put the code word in frog for your chance to win a $1,000 gift card from Mike Lindell, and Mike's going to pull the person that wins. Okay. So once a month, we plan on doing this $1,000 gift card for the next 3 months and be drawn on guess what day? The 17th of the month. Don't forget to head on over to patriotsharingbuyingclub.com and replace Walmart with all your home need essentials. Okay. Don't forget to go over at Precious Metals. If you're looking invested in the silver and gold, go over there. I believe the email address is thefrognewsstore.com if you're interested in that. Also, hey, when the phones go down, the satellites will still be in the air. Go over to thefrognewsnetwork.com, click on the banner, get you one of these satellite phones right here. They work anywhere in the world as long as you're outside of your house. There's also some campaign signs that we fixed 2020 and help save our country that Mike Lindell's selling. So, okay, guys, enough of the plugs. But we have to get our sponsors in because Tim will tell you it's not easy to get out of here and pull one of them Winnebagos down the road. They drink fuel like somebody at a bar drinks beer.
Right on.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen and we're going to take a look over at your website and show some of the videos that you have over there. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so look, you can see that he has interviewed Mel K quite many times.
Well, Mel's interviewed me, and
she's interviewed you.
Yeah, I don't interview anybody. That's not my thing.
Right? Yeah, she's very good at what she does.
Oh, she's amazing. She's awesome.
But anyways, you can see he's got many videos on here. So just head over to the PBI.
Yeah, that one's where we fired the governor Pritzker on the steps of the Capitol there. That one there is where we.
Is this you? That video that day? Was that you?
We fired the governor, and that's not me. That's a guy that was with me, and then he introduces me to the police that are standing there, the state Capitol Police. We had the state police, the internal affairs guys, arrange the meeting with these gentlemen on the steps there because we had demanded his resignation in letters previously, and then we fired him. You know, these governors like Newsom, they sit there and they claim, you know, the recalls are invalid and so forth. So we just said, hey, well, let's just fire him. He's no different than anyone else that works for the state. So we just did a ceremonial thing there. People liked it. Obviously, he didn't step down. So he doesn't belong there. But yeah, Pritzker's tough. We're in I like to call it, people say, where are you from? I say, communist occupied Illinois, you know.
Right. So let me ask you this. You're saying the 2020 Declaration of Independence, isn't it true the whole Declaration of Independence was rewritten and actually the Trump's wife had tweeted last 4th of July that we're celebrating our new Declaration of Independence as it was rewritten. A lot of people don't realize that.
Something like that. And I don't know who's taking credit for the writing of it. I actually think It might be some artificial intelligence crawled the internet because when you read it or hear it, if you play it on there, we also have the document. You can read it on the
Uh-huh.
documents page. But when you hear it, it points out all the enemies and what they're doing, the media, so on and so forth, in such detail. I actually believe, like, because no one's taking credit for writing it, like possibly artificial intelligence crawled the internet, found the enemy, and basically came up with that document. But it's an amazing document when you listen to it. It really is. And then we created one called the Planetary Declaration.
Uh-huh.
And we put these petitions out. What happened is they removed them from the petition website. It's a site called the petition website. So apparently petitions now can get deleted. So we went on MLK and we had like 700 people sign the military shutdown petition that we created to have the military shut down mainstream media, social media, and the Biden administration, Congress, investigate them all, and then bring back whoever's clean, But none of them appear to be any good. But so once that petition hit, it went kind of viral, and then so they removed all of our petitions. We had I think 3 petitions. So now we've got them on the website, and and this whole thing is funded by what we the PBI anti-tyrannical freedom token. So the younger generation into cryptocurrencies, it's on the Ethereum network.
Uh-huh.
And that token there that you see, that is how obviously we take donations for people who
Uh-huh.
don't understand cryptocurrencies, but you can buy the tokens, and we hope that those will exceed the value of say Bitcoin, because freedom's attached to it. The way we're going to fund the agents throughout the country
Right.
is by purchases of tokens. So if you purchase $100 in freedom tokens,
Mhm.
you're going to $70 of that $100 spend is going to go to your specific county's agent. So it's not going to go to New York City. It's not going to go to
Wow, that's a great idea.
Afghanistan. It's not going to go in some congressman's freezer or in his mattress. It's
Right.
going to be earmarked specifically for your county. So that's the idea. If whatever county's in the most need and comes to, purchase the most tokens, obviously that county's going to have the first paid agent. Don't know where it's going to be, but eventually we'll find that out.
Well, you said you're coming to Francine's rally, correct, in Fredericksburg, Maryland?
That's Pittsburgh, right? Or no,
No, no, no. She
Pennsylvania.
was going to be up near Penn State, near Pittsburgh, but she has moved the rally to Frederick, Maryland, at a church over there now, which is better going to suit where it's at. So you might want to get with her. About 2 weeks ago, she updated it. It's going to be in Frederick, Maryland now.
What's the dates on that one? I was going to the Rods of Iron, I think. In
She is, I think
Pennsylvania.
we're in Aiken on the 23rd. I think she's the 26th and the 20th. Let me look at the calendar. It's the
'Cause I
very
know
next weekend.
the Rods of Iron, I think it's called, is in Pennsylvania.
Okay, so on the
somewhere,
23rd,
and
we're
that's
on
on the 9th
Saturday.
and
Hers
10th.
is on the I think it's a 3-day event. It's Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday's really the traveling day. So it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The 28th, 29th, and the 30th is Francine's event.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have
You
to
just
look
might
into
want
that
to get
one.
with her and touch base with her with that, and make sure you get the updated stuff on her website. I know she updated it about 2 weeks ago.
Are
And
you
said she-
going to Pennsylvania, the one with Steve Bannon and
No, I'm going to
Sheriff
Francine's
Mack?
the week before. We're in Aiken, South Carolina. We have a revival barn. Well,
Okay.
Jeremy has a revival barn down there,
Okay.
and we're going there. I think it's about 500 people. Bonafide and I will speaking on stage also at that event. Melissa Red Pill will be there. I'm pretty sure Linwood will be there. I'm not sure if Brad Barton.
Things seem to be happening like every weekend now, right?
Well, that's what we need to have every night, like bingo.
Yeah,
what I
right.
mean? We need to have these things every night. We need
I
people
call
to
it.
get involved.
I say I joined the Patriot Circus. It's
What you want to know how to get them to come now? Tell them to get a 4-pack of steaks to the winner. There's a draw, because that's about $100 now. If you want 4 steaks, it's about $100 now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy, man.
Right. We're talking about doing a free one, getting a group together, do a free one in a big, like a Woodstock type event where we have
we
stages
heard
and
we heard
music.
rumors of that, but it didn't come to fruition.
No.
And it was supposed to be in Detroit. It was going to start there. I won't even go into that, but it didn't come true.
No.
But actually, the one that the fairest price one I've ever seen was the one that Bonafide's sitting at right now. They planned that back in January, and I think it's only $25, and it was 3 days.
Wow.
Professor Toto took quite the
Right.
hit.
Wow.
But because there's 3 giant like ballrooms that they're using. I think it's 3 or maybe more. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that they're using to teach people. And this isn't just a rally where people are rah rah rah. And people get fired up. They're actually learning.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do is learn them something. Fixing to learn something down there, and they are learning something they can take back home and have solid stuff that they can use to start their journey about helping 10 other people to get involved to get our country back. It's just, huh.
Yeah.
I've heard I heard Greg Locke's wife yesterday. She was on and she did a video that people doesn't realize that the amount of their lives that everybody's given up to do this, to wake people up. Greg's on the road 5 to 7 days a week, flying all around the country preaching. And you know what I mean?
Right.
Bonafide's given up darn near on his business, and because he's
Yeah.
at a rally every weekend. I do the same thing. People
Same
don't
here.
realize, and you do the same thing too. And
I
all
left
we're trying to
my
do,
seven-figure business behind. Just
is save our country. It seems to be quite
Right.
important to us at this
it's
point,
more
guys.
important than anything. Right.
Yes,
Money
absolutely.
isn't going to work. Money's not going to
But
do us
money's
any
going to
good
be just
if
like
we're
where it is
enslaved.
over across the
And-
water, where it's blowing down the street and ain't worth nothing. You can't even wipe your butt with it.
Right. What good is it? Right.
It's not worth anything.
We're already enslaved, and I don't want to see it get any further or any deeper. The slavery now with masks. I mean, it's like a Luciferian ritual that they're making.
Yeah,
us
I mean,
participate
you're
in. I'm like,
breathing
that's enough.
your carbon dioxide.
Shutting down
Like,
businesses.
I had to go pick
Come
up a
on.
prescription, Tim, and they had me go in. I had to wear a mask to get the prednisone,
Right.
and she's checking my oxygen level. I said, "How are you checking it with my mask on? It's knocking it down by 4%. I promise you."
Sure.
She goes,
Right.
"You're a little low. You're at 92." I said, "I better pull the mask off. I'm 97."
Right.
And as I'm talking, because I'm getting ticked, she go, "Oh, it went up 3. Oh, you're about 96.5 now."
Right.
I said, "Yeah."
Wow.
You can't tell. You can't fix stupid is what it is.
No.
And then they weren't going to make me take no COVID test. They weren't going to make me. I told them before I got there, "Don't you dare come to me with no swab." I said, "I will not take that test. I will not let you stick nothing up my nose. I don't know where that thing's been." I says, "I know what's wrong with me, and I know the medications that's fixed this problem for the last 11 years. Don't try to convince me we ought to try something new when I know what fixes it every time. I'm
Right.
my own patient. I'll tell you what's wrong. You can go back and look at the records, and we can come up with an agreement on the satisfactory treatment of Doug Cusman, not what you think Doug should have." And
Right.
that's the way it should be with your doctor. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Not forcing stuff on you or trying to give you medications that are drowning you and killing you and hooking you up to a respirator like they did our buddy Presley. And
Yeah.
and like I said earlier, we're only weeks away from them starting to drag doctors out in the street, and it'll be an eye for an eye.
My mother's in the hospital. She got the 3rd jab, and her hand and
Oh
arm
my-
are completely black. Like
Oh
I'm
my
talking
God.
black as this microphone. Her entire
Right? That's
hand.
because she's losing oxygen in her hands.
They rushed her to the hospital. She
Oh my
couldn't
God.
breathe. The day after the jab, she couldn't breathe, and her hand and arm went, I mean, as black as this.
Well, they
flag behind
invented the 3rd shot so they could eradicate the older people. That's the way I feel, and it's terrible.
It's not good.
But anyways, guys, it's been a little bit over an hour. We try to keep our shows to around an hour now, because very, very soon, some of our shows air on Christian radio now. Not tonight because I know they're airing stuff from the state park down there, but we're trying to keep them to 30 minutes or an hour now. So, with that being said, Tim, I really appreciate you coming on tonight and explaining your organization,
I
our
appreciate you
organization,
having
and
me
how
on
it
here.
works.
Exactly.
I'm getting me one of them hats. I'm telling
Hey,
you.
the
right now.
Packers somehow incorporated where the fans own that team. Did you know the Packers?
I know that.
Yeah.
You know that the fans volunteer, and there's a waiting list to shovel the stadium out.
Right. So I'm trying
It's
to
like a
figure out
20-year
in the
list
long
just to
run-
get on just to shovel snow.
in the long run, I want to set it up some kind of way like that. But I had to get off the ground first. I'm looking to get Mike Lindell on board and spread the word. I've talked to General Flynn about it. I've talked to Tom Homan about it down in Kentucky. Guys like that, that's the type of people I need to get involved. So it's going to be good. But I appreciate you having me on, man.
I got to tell you something that you're probably not aware of. On camera, who you look like?
Who's that?
The old quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. Right. What was his name? Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly, really? Wow.
Yeah. You just get some of that money, you'll be good to go. That poor man, he fought cancer all in his jaw and overcame it. He's
really
one hell of a guy. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he almost lost it all about 4 or 5 years ago, but he's come back strong. He's learned how to talk again. He's lost all over the bone in his lower jaw.
Oh boy.
But yeah, what a great guy. But anyways, for every show before we leave out, we'd like to say a prayer and get us out. Would you like to close us out with a prayer?
Sure, I can do that. I'll do my best.
Okay.
Father God, thank you for bringing us together tonight. It's been a great conversation, a fantastic time with Doug here, and I really appreciate you connecting us down in Kentucky. Please guide us to continue to do your work and focus 100% on you in everything that we do, in everything that we think, and everything that we say. Our words are 100% powerful. We know you have power in your words, and we need to speak positively that your will be done here on earth. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Man, I want to thank you for coming on again. And like I said, man, I'm going to get one of them hats off you because I think they look super cool. I got to have one of them.
Well, next time I see you, I'll give you one for sure,
Okay, I'll be glad to wear it too, don't you know?
Plan on seeing each other sometime soon.
Well, I hope to see you at Francine's event, and I'll get in touch with her and let her know that she needs to update you on the information. I just texted her earlier today. We usually talk to each other every 2 or 3 days through text. Is the best way I can get in touch with her. She's just too busy to answer the phone.
Right.
But it's been a pleasure to have you on. All you Frogganites, stay close to the Telegram group. If you guys want, we can start a chat over there tonight and get in there. Last night, Mike came over, and my old partner, and we stayed on there for about an hour and a half, and it was 2:00 in the morning, and I couldn't stay awake any longer, so I went to bed. But what's great about the Telegram group, you can go live with video, and all your listeners get to speak to you one-on-one if they like, and you can unmute them one at a time. So
right.
it's a way that people normally, like when they leave comments on here, we can light them up or whatever, but now they get to speak to you, and it gives them more of a one-on-one thing with you where you can answer their questions. And I really like that. Our Superfoods, our moderator, she likes for me to do it without the video so she can see people raising their hands. But I'm really enjoying that, and getting to know people through the Telegram chat is a remarkable thing that I just started using here it's only been about 5 or 6 days ago, but it's working out well for all of us. So Superfoods, if you want to, you can set one up to start at 11 o'clock. There's a way to put a countdown to it too. I'm going to find that out too. But Tim, once again, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll be in touch real soon.
I'll jump on your group there and say hi here tonight.
Are you in our Telegram group?
Yeah, I'm on there. Sure.
Okay, buddy. I'll talk to you over there then. Have a great evening. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. God bless. Thank you.
God bless.